Evening, everybody. Tonight's video, show you how to put together one of my payloaders. So when you order a loader, here's what you get. You get the main body, the front half of the body. You'll have cylinders, this rod here that connects between, I don't know, I'll call it the banana piece, and the bucket mount. Your pins for pinning everything together. Wheels, tires, and a spare set of cylinders. And then you get to choose cabs, clear glass versus solid glass. Spare set of cylinders, why is that? Resin, it's really hard to get the cylinders to work. So the spare cylinders are from Shapeways. Excuse me. They're the white versatile plastic, I believe is what they call it now, kind of that sandier material. Because of that texture, they work great for cylinders because they will hold in position. It requires some sanding, some drilling to get them to function. Go into that later. Either way, first thing to do is cut all the pieces apart. Okay, everything's cut apart, ready for paint, sand to your liking. I will also take a Dremel. See if I can point this out with pliers. The bottom end on this plate I will cut off. There's the holes right there and right there for mounting the arms. I'll cut the bottom of the plate off to allow for better bucket movement. But I will take a Dremel, kind of sand down everything, get rid of these edges from all the sprues, and then we're ready for paint. When it comes to the paint, this loader is predominantly a darker yellow modeled after, but I've seen it painted up as kind of a brighter yellow from another company, but kind of the two industrial yellow loaders, or the big two, is what it's really modeled after. So kind of pick your color as you choose. So dependent on what color scheme you decide to go with, you gotta do your detail painting. So as you can see, I'm doing the black and yellow. So I got a black grille, exhaust, flares on the fenders, front fenders, flashers. Detail painting is mostly done. I mean, I still got to do the blinkers, stuff like that. So now we get to the cylinders. This is why I like to use this material, because a 1/16 drill bit will drill through there without it breaking if you go slow and careful. Resin, it'll just break. So what I'm going to do now is cut this all apart, drill everything out, so that part's ready. Okay, got them cut apart and ready. So you have your two cylinders that match, your one different. Your two cylinders that match are going to be your lift cylinders that mount at the base. Your one that's different is going to mount here in the middle. Depending on how you decide to paint everything, here is the arm bar that connects the kind of banana-shaped piece to the front plate. And the pins are what pin the whole thing together. All of that is included in the resin, so with these guys, I don't use them because I did it with resin. Now I'm going to paint, well, first, I'm going to take a disc on the Dremel. Now, I will sand them down slowly using this cutting disc on my Dremel. When I say slow, I'm talking about that fast. Or even, I can't get to do the slow speed. But take your time. Take your time also drilling these out to 1/16. Drill those out, sand this down slowly, and eventually everything will slide together beautifully. Once you get everything sanded to where it functions properly, a little bit of detail paint, now you're ready to start assembly. Now, I cannot specify this enough. This model is designed with super tight tolerances so that way it'll hold position. When this is done, it'll have full movement. Because of that, there is a lot of sanding and minute detail involved. Okay, with that thought out of the way, First up, I'll always mount the mounting plate to this pivot arm. The short little arm here, the round end on the mounting plate, the square end on the pivot arm. Your different cylinder, because remember, these two are the same, so the one that's different will go right here for your tilt. Then you move over to your arms, you pin both cylinders there. Then on the front half of the body, you got the different cylinder base here, and then the two that are the same right there. That one requires quite a bit of sanding around the bottom edge to get it to where it'll move. Just a heads up. There and there on both of these arms require a decent amount of sanding to get them to fit there and there on their mounting points. And this point right here requires a decent amount to fit in between there. Again, do it slowly so that there will still be some friction to help hold everything in place. Okay, if you look now, I took the arms, I pinned them to the bottom of the front plate. If I didn't say it earlier in the prep, take that Dremel and cut off the bottom of these plates so that way it'll allow for better movement. So the arms are pinned there, and then this pivoting piece, again, I said I had to sand in there, pin it, front half is ready to go. So now as I put everything together, what I'll do is I'll start these two cylinders into their base, then I'll adjust everything so that one goes in, and then slowly work everything together to get these guys to line up with those holes. And there you have it. Everything's a little too tight for me to move one-handed, so I'm not really gonna try. So now, next thing to do, paint up all these pivot points, and then attach the two halves with the pins. Okay, so now that you got the main body put together, it's time to start on the cab. So there's two options on the cab. There's a clear cab glass or the solid. The solid, this is all one piece. Spray paint it black and you're done. Add the roof cap, easy peasy. Clear, obviously, you gotta do a little detail painting. So carefully, sorry, excuse me. Paint up everywhere that needs paint. Then that will go there. This guy will need some trimming around the edge to get it to snap into place. Your lights need to be painted black. Everything glued together. Alright, so I'm still working through some older cab designs. Now, when you get these older ones, I've got new ones on order. They'll have this back plate. This back plate interferes with that back plate. So what you have to do is take your Dremel right down each side and across the bottom, cut that back plate off. Then take a 3/32 drill bit to drill out the mounting holes on the bottom. That will snap right into place. Glass will go right on top of it, like so. Roof cap. They can be a little temperamental. That one popped right on, no problem. This one, I had to do a little bit of Dremel work on the sides to get the fit just right to where it'd snap in on top of the glass. So you might have to do a little bit of work there. But let's throw the cab on. So now that your cab is assembled and on the loader, next step is wheels and tires. So these are designed to fit super tight. So what I will do is take a Dremel to the inside of that wheel, clean it out a little, and just little by little keep working it until those fit perfect. Now when I say they fit tight, they fit very tight. You cannot put them together as is. You have to Dremel that out some to make it go. You can see those ones are already put together. Okay, so once the wheels and tires are all assembled, I use 0.08 styrene rod. Some of the wheels need to be drilled out just a touch. You definitely got to drill out the axle holes I'm using a 3/32 drill bit to do all that. So now it's just a matter of putting everything together, gluing them in place. I glue them solid so it does not roll, because I don't want this to fall off the shelf. None of my models roll. And there we have it, guys. A finished loader. You can add decals if you want. Same process for all models. There's 4 of them in total that I have. Catch you in the next one.